back with another Debt Collection 101 on R by You. We have a first-time guest with us today. We have Sean Williams of William Rush and Associates, and we will be talking about building a brand reputation in the debt collection industry. So thank you, Sean, for joining us today. We are very excited to learn more about this.
Thank you for inviting me. I've been watching your series like we were talking about it previously, man, and gotten some really good stuff from the different guests that you guys have had and the topics that you guys have had. So I'm thrilled.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we're thrilled to have you. So let's get it started with telling us about yourself and your agency.
Okay, well, collections, what I do. I mean, that's really all I've done my entire adult life. You know, I started in collections in '94. I answered an ad in the newspaper. I'll let you know how old I am.
That's when I was born.
Yeah, that's when we used to search for jobs in the newspaper, you know, the Sunday paper, whatever. And I've been at it ever since, you know, and the thing I like about collections is, I mean, it's always been easy, you know, because basically we're just talking to people, you know, talking to people on the phone and helping them resolve a situation, you know. And, you know, I did that for until, 9 years ago, and I actually got fired. Got fired from probably the best collections job I ever had. It was a buddy's agency. We're still great friends, and we got into it about an account, and he fired me. And, you know, I called my dad, you know, and told him, John just fired me. And he was like, if not now, when? Because I went back to school and got a couple of degrees and, you know, to start my own business. But I was just so comfortable at that agency that, you know, it's just hard to leave. But that was the kind of the little push that I needed. And funny thing, his dad and him, they were my first clients. They gave me a bunch of business, you know, and it's funny how it worked out. I got a one-man office in Uptown right here in Dallas. And they were my first clients, and just we've been here ever since for the last 9 years, and we've steadily grown, and we're still excited about what we do.
Good. That's awesome. I love to hear like stories like that because it's so funny.
Yes.
Your friend fired you, but you're still friends. Yes. And here you are with your own agency.
He was my first client. You fired me, then they became my first client. You know, they gave me a lot of business. You know, that he probably felt bad that he fired me. Actually, yeah. we were pretty good friends. But anyway, that's just kind of how it started. And you know, we've got a very good team here. We've got a very good team. We've got some people that have been here for years. You know, and one of the best things that I can say personally about having an agency is seeing the members on your team grow. You know, I've seen quite a few members of my team go back to school, because I'm always talking about school because it changed my life. You know, going back to school and getting college degrees. You know, one of my team members, she's getting her doctorate right now. Crystal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's our operations manager, and she's getting her doctorate in leadership and management. So, but that's pretty much that's it. You know, we love what we do.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, can you tell us how the brand for Williams Rush evolved since agency first opened?
Yeah, you know, honestly, if I'm really being honest, brand, you know, building, that hasn't even been on our radar until probably about a year ago. Honestly, we were just our thing was about relationships, you know, with our clients, you know, building relationships within the industry, and being in position for our clients. And that's what we spent 100% of our time, you know, working on. It's just working on the relationships that we've had, because for the first 7 years that we were in business, we didn't even have a salesperson. You know, we didn't hire a salesperson until 2018. All of our business came from word of mouth. You know, we've been in the education loan space, vocational loans and stuff like that, schools. Primarily, like 95% of our business was just schools, you know, vocational loans. And like I said, we just got one client, and we did a good job for that client. And they would tell somebody if they're, you know, in their industry, you know, who's doing your collections? Well, this small company out of Dallas, and they would call us for 7 years. And then we just kind of grew, you know, organically. And then in 2018, you know, I was at a conference, and I can't remember the gentleman's name on the tip of my tongue, but anyway, he suggested that we get a sales guy, to kind of grow a little bit exponentially as opposed to organically. And I hired a salesperson and brought her on, and then she kind of started putting that on our radar as far as building a brand. And she suggested that you start having your collectors, having your team members mention to consumers about the Google reviews, because I read all of them. Our management team reads every single review. I think we've got, I don't know how many we've got quite a few, but we read all of them. We use those as teaching moments. And all of them are good. Some of them, sometimes people leave those reviews when they're frustrated. They're very frustrated with either the service that they've received from us or frustrated with the situation, whatever. But we read those too. And the ones that we're able to, if it's us that they're frustrated with, we use those as teaching moments. We try to improve our service, with the feedback, the raw feedback, and some of it's pretty raw, that you get from consumers. So, it kind of, and it's free. It's free feedback. We're not even having to pay for that. So it's invaluable. And our sales team, they're the ones that kind of put it on our radar to start looking and cultivating, a brand.
Yeah. Cool.
Great.
Yeah. I know recently you guys kind of just started using LinkedIn a little bit more as well. So why did you decide to launch social media pages for Williams Rush & Associates, and what has the response been like so far?
I think it's still growing. Well, the response has been good. All my team members, they like it, and we've had some good feedback. I don't think we're where we'd like to be, but we've definitely seen some progress over the last, I think, 6 to 9 months that we've started this. Our IT team, they have a division, a social media division, and they've been giving us ideas, because I was clueless, honestly. I'm a bill collector. I don't know much about, and I'm an old guy. So, my daughter tells me a whole lot of stuff about social, and she's been telling me for a while, you need to work on your social media presence. And I was like, well, okay, but it wasn't until Green Bean IT is who we use, and they're fantastic. And they've been giving us ideas and kind of putting some things in place. And, I'm happy with the results so far.
Cool. Do you use anything else besides LinkedIn for a company page?
We have Facebook and LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yes. What
do you found that's worked better for you guys?
I think LinkedIn personally. I mean, personally, I prefer LinkedIn. Because you don't really get any, I read all the Facebook stuff too. It's not much. We don't get a lot of feedback on Facebook. But yeah. LinkedIn, we post stuff on LinkedIn. We post sometimes our Google reviews. Sometimes we post articles about the company, little small snippets of information, just to kind of give us a little bit more exposure. But we get responses on LinkedIn. And I follow you guys on LinkedIn, and I think I'd almost say that Albright is maybe the biggest motivating factor of us wanting to continue with the social media platforms, because you guys do a fantastic job of with your presence, but also just getting out collection information from other people in the industry that I might not be talking to. Yeah. The last person that you did a video, last video I saw, her name was Mary. I don't remember her last name, but I actually reached out to her, so yeah, we get some great information from you guys. So keep it up.
That's great to hear, man. I love it.
So keep it up.
Back to you now.
Now, can you tell us about the counseling approach you take with consumers and how that might contribute to your positive brand reputation?
Well, sure. So we tend to, like I told you, when I started in '94, things were much different. Things were much different in the collections. I started doing collections in Houston, and it was a pretty big agency, and the training that we received was much harsher, I guess you could just say, but you can't collect like that anymore, and on top of that, I don't think anybody wants to collect like that anymore. I mean, I want people to talk to me the same way, or I want to talk to people the same way I want people to talk to my wife and to talk to my daughter. Some of the stuff that you would hear on the collections floor 20 years ago was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you can't collect like that anymore and stay in business. And I don't really think anybody wants to collect like that. So what we try to do, we read a lot of collections books. We read a lot of stuff on, we go to the conferences and sit in the workshops, and the benefit of that is just the conferences specifically. I miss with the stuff that we're in right now, there's no conferences.
Yeah.
But being able to sit at tables with people from around the country that are doing the same thing that we are. A lot of those agencies are much bigger, and they give you just invaluable insight on, how they're doing it. And one of the things that I heard about 4 or 5 years ago, it was a bigger agency, Williams and Fudge, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're in South Carolina or North Carolina. But I was sitting next to one of their guys, and they were, we got a chance to have a really good in-depth conversation. And I kind of stole it from them. That's how they do it. And he talked to me, and he sent me some stuff after the conference, and we use that as training material now. Because what we do, we feel like, but the way I was trained, you give the consumer one, 2 or 3 options, and that's it, and this is it. But now I wasn't really trained to listen. Back in the day, we weren't trained much to listen. But, now, one of the things that we do, and we train our staff to do is you have to listen. The last call is not like this call. Every call, there's going to be different solutions. There's going to be different options based on, where that consumer is, as opposed to just giving them the 3 canned options that, almost no one could do anyway, for the most part, and kind of beating them over the head with it. We found that a counseling approach just works much, much better, and at least it does for us, and that's how our call flow usually goes, or hopefully it goes.
Yeah. Good. Cool. Well, kind of going back to your Google reviews, I'm sure you know this, but you have a 4.6 star rating on Google, which is very high for the debt collection industry. So kudos to you guys. Obviously, your counseling approach is working. But do you have any advice for agencies who want to improve their reputation on how you achieve this?
Well, I mean, I can only say what we did. And like I said, we steer the consumers to Google. When they, at the end of each call, we ask the consumers if they would take some time out to give us some honest feedback, just a quick review of whatever you felt like the service was. And I mean, that's the long and short of it, and like I said, I feel like that's priceless information. It's free information, and it's, we use that, and we try to improve our approach, our methods, based on what we're getting from them. And one of the things I can say, since we've been doing that, our lawsuits have went down, I mean, yeah, they went down, and I felt like we've always been like extremely compliant, but something about, I don't know, I can't tell you, but the lawsuits have went down, and I mean, that's always a goal.
Yeah,
right.
That's always a goal.
Good. Yeah, I'm sure just talking to people, like the real people, like the counseling approach, really helps, because I know there's still people out there who do the old way of collections and it doesn't work. So that's really good that you guys do that. And I know you guys, have known you guys for years now, and even talking to, Brandy or Crystal, like all of those people that you have at your office are the nicest people ever. So you guys are doing a really great job at that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. The team, I'm telling you, I have to put it almost 100% back on the team. We have a spectacular team that love what they do. Yeah. I've worked at some jobs where I dreaded going to work. So one of my goals, part of my vision, and our mission statement is that I wanted to have an agency where people look forward to going to work. And of course, we pay people well, of course, but it's just like outside of the money, we wanted to have a place where people feel valued. And I think we do a really good job of doing that, and I think when your team members feel valued, that they're able to transfer that, to the consumers when they're speaking with them, you know, because I think if your team members are disgruntled, and I've had that too. So let's just be clear. Let's be honest. I've had disgruntled team members, and when you have this team members that they're disgruntled, heck, I've been disgruntled when I was a collector, and it comes across on the phone. You know, when I'm disgruntled about I'm not happy with the situation I'm in here at the office, you know, it comes across when I'm dealing with the consumers. So I feel like if I start in house, you know, with creating a pretty good work environment and a very good culture, you know, that everybody's feeling valued and whatnot, that they're gonna pay it forward to the consumers that we're dealing with, and you know that's been working for us.
Good, awesome. Well, that's all we have for you. Thank you for joining us again, and all of the advice that you gave. I think this is very helpful for anyone who's gonna watch this. So thank you again, and we will see you guys next time. Like and subscribe.
Thanks for the invite, you guys. Bye.